Hi everybody, Andrew Rice here, just talking on behalf of a great company, a company that I've been with for a long time, Swing Catalyst. I've been a Swing Catalyst ambassador for about 4 years now. I've been fortunate enough to have the pressure plate along with the 3D motion plate out at Berkeley Hall. The thing that I love about this system is that it's really enabled me to be able to take a look behind the curtain. You know, so often I've got TrackMan, I use TrackMan a lot, and we look at a player's numbers and they seem good. We look at the video, the footage seems good, in order, but something's not right. And very often what I'll do in that case is I'll take that student, put them on my Swing Catalyst, and it's amazing how the answers start to unfold as to what they need to do. And I think it's very, very important to be able to get a sense of how that player is using the ground, how that player is generating force, where they're pressuring the ground at certain points in their swing, because it really has far-reaching influence on the way they flight their golf ball and the way they deliver the club to the ball. So just a fantastic system. If you haven't seen it, I would encourage you to try it out. Find somebody who's got one, get on there, take a look, see what you think. So here we've got a PGA Tour player, Stuart Appleby, hitting a shot at the Wells Fargo event in Charlotte. The Swing Catalyst team was out there. As you can tell from the video, they had their system set up out on the range. And the reason I selected this swing to show you is Stuart's got a fantastic center of pressure trace. And in using the Swing Catalyst system, it's obvious to see there is no real optimal way to move that center of pressure trace, but there is an ideal, there is that model that we should be looking for. Most often it's going to be something just like I see Stuart here. You can tell how he moves back. It's a very smooth trace, and what that enables him to be able to do is deliver that energy that he builds up in the backswing smoothly in one fluid motion to the golf ball. So there's not a lot of adjusting, there's not a lot of compensation in the downswing. So often with better players, I find that players will tend to pressure that lead foot too early. They get pressure on that front foot, and as a result, from delivery right here on through to impact, the pressure is actually tracking back to the back foot, and we see nothing of the sort here with Stuart. So I like to see that straight back with the downswing being slightly above. That's going to illustrate that the force is moving a little out to the right of the target, but the most important factor I'm looking for is a nice smooth trace back and through. If we can get that, there's not a lot that's going to go wrong. The consistency factor is going to go up. The ability to deliver the club face properly to the back of the ball is really going to be enhanced when you smooth out that center of pressure trace. Another great thing that I like about Stuart Appleby here to use just as a general model for people when using this pressure plate system from Swing Catalyst is at address. Stuart's right at address here is about to take the club back. I'm going to look for something that's fairly close to 50-50. Stuart there is 57-43. That's close enough for me. Take a look at the picture and you can tell there's no extreme look to that setup. Something fairly basic, 50-50. As he gets to a point where the CoP is furthest away from where it started. So if we can get the video to there, he's going to get just invariably, I find most players get there just before they get to the top of the backswing. Here I'm going to look for, and this is a rule of thumb, okay? It's not a set number. I'm going to look for 80-20. You can tell Stuart at this point is 79-21, very close to where we want to be. And then another important point is very close to halfway down. Just right about there, okay? As his lead arm gets fairly close to parallel, I'm going to look for something in the 50-50 range. And you can tell in that frame right there, Stuart's at 50-50. The big fault that I see so many generally better players make is they tend to get their pressure at the start of the downswing too far onto their left foot. So when the lead arm is pretty close to parallel to the ground, I'm going to look for something around 50-50 there. And then moving into impact, we're going to get, generally I'm going to look for something around 80-20, 87-13, that works for me. Okay, so in summary, what we're going to look for is at address, and remember, this is a rule of thumb, okay? It's not numbers that we have to have, generally speaking, right here. Generally speaking, at address, I'm going to look for something in the 50-50 range. As a player is approaching the top of the backswing, somewhere between this point and the top of the backswing, generally in that range, I'm going to look for something around 80-20 pressure on the ground wise. And then on the way down, this is an important one, is as this lead arm's approaching parallel to the ground, I prefer to see something around 50-50. That's going to allow us to have that nice smooth two-way trace where it's just going to go back into the back foot, and then coming down into impact, we're going to go from that 50-50 point to 80-20. So very quickly, 50-50, 80-20 favoring the back foot, 50-50, 80-20 favoring the front foot. General guideline, use that, hopefully it can help.